Hi everyone, it's Grizz. We're back in the garage, back for some more fun with the Punisher today. Right, lots of jobs to do. I want to really get on and clean that engine bay up, but we've got some sun out there and I'm not going to get many opportunities, I don't think, with all the rain we've had, to get some of the paintwork done. There's not much to do, it's just that framework around the headlight. So I'm going to quickly whip that off, sand it up and give it a paint. I'm just using some black satin paint. I've got some primer as well, some wet and dry. Let me show you some of the other bits and pieces that I've got as well for other jobs that I want to do. We've got a week to get this done and I think I'm probably going to get it done. So let me just show you what else there is to do. Right, so here is the Punisher at the moment. It needs that bracket painting, so the paint is going to sort that out. Yeah, there's some other things over there. Let me show you. I've got some cylinder paint so I can paint the engine to match everything. At the moment it's kind of multicolored. It's got the red original powder coat I put on it, which as you can see has bubbled off. I can only guess that the same had happened on the side engine casings and someone has painted it with black enamel. The downside is that all the paint that was on the engine has fell off, so I want to get everything uniform. I'm not going to paint over these enamel casings, but I'm going to paint all the kind of silver engine casing. I might also do the exhaust just to kind of bring everything matching kind of color wise and not make the bike look so weird at the moment. It's just so many colors going on, you can't really define what's going on. So yeah, other things, gonna give it a coolant change, gonna give it a service, yeah, bit of paint. I need to fix the fuel tap because I broke that, new spark plugs, new clocks, seat foam, sort the brakes out. The brakes really do need sorting. I'll talk to you a bit more about those in a sec. I've got a new number plate, a number plate light from RNG, thank you guys, a little reflector to make it road legal for the number plate, some resistors there for the indicators, brakes. The brakes, I'm not happy with the brakes, and really I should be doing these today because I want to try and get this bike done within the week. But there's something about these brakes, they feel super spongy. They might just need a clean and a bleed, but they just feel like when I was riding it, you like put on the brake and then you had to pull like super hard to get them to work. So yeah, I'm gonna give the brakes a check over. Desperately want to clean it, but brakes should come first, but the sun's out, so brackets are getting some paint. So let's get on and get them painted. Right, that is the brackets off and ready for painting. I have already got some of this indoors warming up. I've put it in the sink with some hot water, or warm water should I say, to get it up to temperature. I'm not going to film the whole process. You've seen me sand things down and paint them plenty of times already. I just sand down using a bit of, usually like an 800 wet grit, wet and dry. And I'll use this wet, and then I'll dry the part off and then make sure it's nice and clean, and then I'll put some primer on. I'll show you the primer as well in a sec. Put some primer on and then quite a few coats of this stuff. Satin black I'm using, so it's just nice and cool. Anyway, let's get them painted. They are painted up, ready for use. That is a satin black finish. I used some primer filler and then the satin black paint. Yeah, and got a good result with it. It's been drying up for some time. I'm not going to fit that up now. I'm going to leave it a day or so to harden off properly. I also fixed up the fuel tap because that was a bit rubbish, wasn't it? But that is good as well. I'll leave that another day before using that. I also moved over actually onto the engine. I do need to sort out these brakes, but I'm not going to do much more work now today. So I thought I would just prepare the engine, get it ready for cleaning, and also just had a look at this wiring. This thing here, which we were all kind of saying, what is it? I think it probably is an alarm. It's got an earth, and there is some cables there, a live and a negative, not or an earth, live and an earth not connected. I'm not going to bother connecting it up. I'm pretty sure it's saying that this is going to the back as well. I don't know. More investigation required yet. But I'm going to get off. I'm going to take off and remove the wiring for the clocks so I can study the wiring diagram tonight and suss out how everything connects up, so I can go in, chill with Taffy for the evening, and yeah, do a bit of homework on the wiring. But yeah, this is all a little bit of a mess and I need to sort all this out, so yeah, I will attack that. But I might give it a soak in. I've got a couple of options for cleaning. I've got the brake and chain cleaner, really should be good because it says it's also good on seals and the hoses, so yeah, I could use that, or I could use maybe a bit of that. Oh geez, a bit of that and a bit of WD-40 maybe, with a bit of a toothbrush, and yeah, ease everything off. I don't want to make too much mess because I also want to go on and paint the engine. But yeah, there we go. Oh, I also put this bracket back on while I was in between coats. I took off all that flipping paint that not the paint, I took off the tape that I put on here that was really bodgy, wasn't it? So the brackets are kind of ready now for the headlight to go back on, but I gotta wait a day for that. Right, fast forward to the next day. I've had an evening, or last evening, of studying my shoddy workmanship of my previous lot of wiring for the Speedos, and studying wiring diagrams, and yeah, sussing out what I'm going to do next. So I'm a little bit more clued up with that, but there's still a lot more work to be done for those. Yeah, I've also managed to get the bike up kind of haphazardly. A little bit of bodgery going on again. Hold on, let's give you some light. There we go. Yeah, I've managed to get it up on the paddock stand. There's a single-sided swing arm, so it's not exactly easy to get up on a stand. I was trying to use my ABBA stand, but that was no good. I need to get some proper adapters. But anyway, it's up and it's stable-ish. And I want to attack these brakes next. My main concern about the brake, can you hear this? That kind of banjo noise going on, like someone's strumming a little guitar in there somewhere. Can you hear that? Yeah. Well, anyway, it could be a couple of things. It could be the master cylinder's gone. Maybe that needs rebuilding. Or it could just be a build-up of dirt on the pistons in the calipers. Maybe even a leaky caliper. I'm suspecting it could be a combination of things, to be honest. This side is giving me alarm bells because it's all bubbled up, the powder coat finish. Now that's either happened through getting too hot, or maybe there was a brake fluid leak at some point. You can see someone's kind of put some bodgy touch up on it here and there. But I'm going to take them off and have a quick look at them and see what state they're in and decide what to do next. Right, so I'm guessing it's a long time since these brakes have received any attention. They're a bit dirty, they're not horrendous, but I'm going to take off the inspection cover. So 2 Allen bolts there, take off the inspection cover, and I'm going to loosen off the pin which holds the brake pads in. It's always best to loosen off these things first before taking the caliper off and then trying to loosen it off. Then I'll go on to loosening off these bolts. I'm going to pull out the caliper. Let's get it done. Right, I've taken this one off. This was the one which I was a bit more concerned about because it's got all this bubbling effect to the powder coat. Powder coat on brake calipers, probably not the best idea. There's a lot of places I put powder coat on this bike, but to be honest, it probably wasn't the best idea, but it was built as a show bike and a bit of a toddle around kind of fun bike, not a real serious put in some miles bike. But it would appear that this powder coat isn't mixing well with these brake calipers. It could have been caused by them getting too hot. It could have been caused by brake fluid contaminating it at some point and causing it to lift off. But it appears to be on these outer edges. Now this is where a lot of heat can build up on the brake caliper in that fluid. It's surprising how hot these things can get. So it could just be a heat reaction, but it appears to be all over it, doesn't it? Anyway, now looking at this brake caliper, as you can see on the inside, it's flipping dirty and it needs a flipping clean. It's quite black, cruddy. I mean, looks a little bit to me like maybe it had a bit of a leak on there at some point. Someone's not maybe cleaned it off and it's allowed to build itself up, or it just might be dirt. But anyway, something I did spot. Oh look, what's this here? No, that's just dirt. Right, something else I just spotted. Can you see it, kids? Can you see that? You see what I'm seeing? Look here. You see this? Let's get this. Can I do it? Yeah, there we go. That thing there is part of the rubber seal which sits around the actual brake piston. So it's popped out the seal. It's probably expanded because it's old, and with time they expand and grab onto the actual brake piston. Also, if you don't keep them clean, that also happens. So another important reason to keep your brake calipers clean is that it will eventually just clog up so much that it'll grab onto that rubber there, and pull it out. Now, yeah, so basically that needs sorting out. I'm gonna have to take this brake caliper off and strip it down and clean it properly and pull out all the pistons and make sure that it's fit for use. It's where it starts getting a little bit costly. I mean, to be honest, there's I could kind of upgrade the brake calipers, I guess, but it's not exactly cheap. A set of I know all these internal parts are about 10 years old, 10, 11 years old, because I put in new pistons and seals when I rebuilt these, so I know the age of these. So it wouldn't surprise me at all that the seals need replacing. That banjo kind of noise we were getting with the brake lever, it's probably nothing to do with that. I strongly suspect it is the master cylinder. So I'm going to look into getting a replacement master cylinder rebuild kit, and also look at getting some new seals. This is going to slow me down now, and this is what really, I wasn't really thinking very clearly, I guess. I had a lot going on these last few weeks. But yeah, I should have got straight onto the brakes and left everything alone and just got straight onto the brakes. So the brakes need attention, a lot of attention. Like I said, pistons out, check all the seals, thorough clean up and rebuild. It would be lovely to upgrade these, but it's not on my budget at the moment, what with everything going on. So yeah, that's that. And I think now, from a standpoint of me commuting on this bike to work on Friday, today is Monday, I think I'm going to be pushed to get everything done now, because I'm going to have to wait for parts to be delivered. So I'm probably going to end up having to use one of the other bikes. So that's a pain, a bit disappointed, but this needs to be done properly, it needs to be done correctly. If I ride with these calipers in this state, that seal could pop, brake fluid could pour out all over my brakes, and then I end up with no brakes and I have an accident. So that's not cool. So I need to sort this out. You know, it's all right having a fun bike and a cool bike, you know, and getting it on the road and let's go and, you know, have some transport, and yeah, let's have the Punisher on the road again. But I'm not doing it at my health and safety and others. So let's sort it out. Let's get the flipping thing off. I'm gonna have to pump these out, pump the flipping brake to push these pistons out as much as I can. Same for both sides, and then get the caliper off and start stripping it down and seeing what the problem is. I'm gonna save that to another video. I think I've given you enough to watch today. Bit of a bummer about this, but it is what it is. I'm gonna get on with it, get this bad boy sorted. I won't put all that in the video. You've seen me do it on other videos. I did it on the Hayabusa build series. I want to try and speed things up. I want to do as much as I can and share as much as I can of these videos for you, but I'm also trying to kind of get this bike finished and done and back out on the road. But yeah, thanks for watching, and join me on the next one when we have some more two-wheeled fun with the old Punisher, and yeah, we'll see what other challenges it's going to throw up to us next. Thanks for watching, everyone. Speak to you soon, and see you soon, and yeah, catch you on the next one. Thanks, everyone. Bye. Bye 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 bye. Bye.